there. Another dose of Dr. Debbie here. So I want to go over today something that I call the 4 questions. And these questions get under the hood. You know, if you're wondering why you're not doing something, saying something, feeling something, something just isn't right. Sometimes these questions are so helpful because they'll uncover what may be lurking in your subconscious, or you know, they may be giving you an example of what you need to pay attention to, but for some reason you're not, usually because it may cause a shakeup, it may cause a confrontation, it may cause change. And when I ask you the questions, you'll see exactly what I mean. I wanted to bring this up today because I just had 3 conversations, one after the other after another, with members within the PBT Institute. And the topics that they were struggling with were all so different, but I used this same line of questioning for one was about weight, one was about a business challenge, and the other was about really a lack of motivation and inspiration and meaning in life. So that was kind of broad. The other were 2 very specific topics, but this line of questioning gets to the root of all of it. Ready? So the first question is, am I numbing, avoiding, or distracting? If so, how? And the reason why I'm asking that question is because so often we use food, drugs, alcohol, work, TV, keeping busy, reckless behavior to numb, avoid, or distract ourselves from something painful to feel or face. Because what happens is, what used to make sense just doesn't make sense anymore. What used to work doesn't work. What we used to like, we don't like. And we think we like change, we don't like change, because it's going to invite a whole bunch of changes in maybe more than just this one area. So what we do is we use these things to keep that voice quiet. But if you notice, the voice gets louder and louder, so the stakes get bigger and bigger. So if it used to take, a few cookies, now it takes a whole sleeve of cookies. It takes a drink, it takes 2 or 3 drinks. It takes a TV show where you're numbing out in front of the TV. Now you're binge watching a whole series, right? So ask yourself that question. Am I numbing, avoiding, distracting? If so, how? Right? Call yourself on it. Do you walk into a room and you put the TV on because you're trying to drown out the sounds of your own thoughts? Do you walk into the kitchen, you're not the least bit hungry, but you want to, you just find yourself eating? And see what's going on right there. And with those 3 conversations that I had with our members, it was really insightful because they realized the actions they were doing. And this next question really gets to the root of it. Ready? The second question: what am I pretending not to see? Am I pretending not to see there's trouble in my relationship? Am I pretending not to see that health issue that needs my attention? Am I pretending not to see I hate my job? What am I pretending not to see? And, sometimes we think it's the most obvious thing. Sometimes it's really not. Like in the case about the weight loss, it really had nothing to do with the idea of, well, it's going to be hard to lose weight. And no, it had everything to do with who it's going to affect when she loses that weight. So what am I pretending not to see? In her case, I'm pretending not to see that my weight loss is going to cause a whole cascade in this one relationship that I'm going to have to deal with. You see? The third question: what's life going to look like in 5 to 10 years if I do nothing? Play that all the way out. So in the case of weight, right? When you play that out 5 to 10 years where you keep eating the same way, well, what's going to happen? You're going to, you won't feel well. You're not going to look the way you want to look. You're going to have all kinds of health challenges because there's just so much you can ask your body to do, right? And in her case, it was really going to affect her business. She's in fashion. You just can't pull that off as easily. And not even that. It's when you're no matter what business you're in, how are you showing up if you're trying to hide? If you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel good putting yourself out there. With the other member who had a business issue, well, if she does nothing, play that out 5 to 10 years, what's that going to look like? Well, she was feeling such deep injustice and such anger at this one coworker. Well, doing nothing, can you imagine that kind of work environment? 5 to 10 years from then, when you feel that much more powerless, when you haven't spoken up that much more, how's that going to play out? And then add the health issues that go along with that, right? The last question, what could life look like in 5 to 10 years if I change now? I'm not saying it's easy. Transformation happens when you tell yourself the truth. So in the case of, let's say, the weight loss, right? Well, what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years if I change now? Well, if I change now, it will cause a bit of a shakeup, but you know what? I'm going to feel better. I'm going to look better. I'm going to have more opportunities. I'm going to just feel better in my own skin. I'll be happier. And it's this positive ripple effect. My business will do better. I'll make more money. I'll feel better. And will it be a little bit of a shakeup immediately? Maybe. But when you look at the long-term consequences of that, look how much better that seems. With the case of the one with the work situation, what's life going to look like in 5 to 10 years if I change now? Well, if she were to speak up, if she's going to speak up and she resolved, that's what she's going to do. When she does that, well, how is she going to feel? Relieved, heard, the injustice is dealt with, right? She's speaking her mind, becoming more confident, finding her voice, right? And what does that lead to? There's a positive effect in what that leads to. So again, let me just to go over those questions again, and you can use them for health, for work, for relationships, you name it. Am I numbing, avoiding, distracting? If so, how? The second question, what am I pretending not to see? The third question, what's life going to look like in 5 to 10 years if I do nothing? Play it all the way out. Take that health issue, play it all the way out, 5 to 10 years. What's that going to look like? Take that work issue, 5 to 10 years, play it out. What does that look like? And that relationship issue, play it all the way out, 5 to 10 years. What does that look like? And the fourth question, what could life look like if I change now? And that's the part we tend to avoid. And I have a saying within the community, and I am known for it. And if you've listened to any of my podcasts, for sure you've heard this. Ready? Easy now, hard later. Hard now, easy later. Take your pick. It's going to be one of those two. And what we typically opt for is easy now. What are we left with? Hard later. But hard now, having that difficult conversation, making that decision, joining the gym, packing the bags, whatever it is for you. Hard now, easy later. You see that you've been heard. You feel relief. You've claimed your life back, whatever it is for you. So just to sum this up, those are the 4 questions I invite you to write down about any topic that's on your mind that is tripping you up a bit. And when you're considering, well, it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be hard, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, you play that all the way out and you see what it looks like by not making a decision. It's by not making a decision, you're making a decision by default, and it may not be the one that serves you best. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Subscribe, rate, and review. Share this with anybody who'd benefit from it. And if a chapter of Trust Again would serve you, Trust Again is my newest book, and that's I have the 5 stages moving you through betrayal, from betrayal to breakthrough, from that place of post-betrayal syndrome symptoms to that full and complete state of post-betrayal transformation. If that serves, go ahead and get the book. You can get the book at thepbtinstitute.com/trust again. And I want you to go there instead of Amazon, because if you do, I give you all kinds of goodies. But if you just want to sample a chapter, you can do that too. thepbtinstitute.com/free gift. So with that, subscribe, rate, and review. I'll see you next time. Ask yourself those 4 questions. See what shows up. And I don't know, if you ask me, I always opt for hard now, easy later. See you next time. Bye-bye.